Loyal servant? Ha, more like a privacy nightmare. If you've watched any episode of Black Mirror, you know where this is going. Nora requires a real person who walks the robot through your house using a VR headset. Yes, their company says faces are blurred. Yes, a promise to respect no-go zones like bathrooms, but you're still paying $20,000 to let a stranger walk around your house remotely and see everything. The uncanny valley is no longer about robots looking too human. Now it's about the unsettling feeling of being watched by a stranger you can't see, the invisible human puppeteer. When Neuro walks into your bedroom at night to pick up your clothes off the floor, there's someone watching through those eyes. Some teleoperator in a VR headset is looking at your unmade bed, your personal items, and the private spaces of your life. And you might not even know which operator it is on that particular day. What happens when there's a disgruntled employee who decides to screenshot something they shouldn't? Not to mention, the company needs to store every detail of your home to train their AI. Room layouts, furniture placement, where you keep things, your daily routine, when you're home versus when you're not. All of that data has to live on one extra servers for the system to work. Right now, the company promises that teleoperators are 1x's employees physically present in the US. That's meant to be reassuring. It means they're not outsourcing to overseas workers right now. But notice the careful wording. They're not saying they'll never outsource. They're describing the current state of things. What happens in 2 years when they need to scale up and labor costs in the US are too expensive? What happens when the company gets acquired or goes through financial difficulties? The real question is whether this level of surveillance gets normalized the same way Ring cameras and Alexa devices did. Remember when people were creeped out by the idea of Amazon listening to them in their homes? Maybe Meal's cameras become just another thing we accept as the price of convenience, the replacement. What happens when artificial companions start to supersede human relationships? Think about Samantha and Her, where the protagonist falls in love with an operating system and loses interest in real people. Meal is marketed as a way to reclaim your time from boredom and mundane tasks. Do the laundry, clean the kitchen, organize your stuff, and suddenly you have hours back in your day for the things you actually care about. That sounds great, right? Well, while Neil may be marketed as a way to reclaim your time, it's more than just a bipedal Roomba. Neil is designed with companion features. It can tell jokes, have conversations, provide what the company calls personalized intelligence. It has memory capabilities so there's continuity across interactions. It learns your preferences, your habits, your personality. Here's where it gets weird though. Right now, you're not building a relationship with an AI. You're building a relationship with a teleoperator. Maybe you start to prefer the operator who makes better jokes or the one who organizes your kitchen the way you like it. Some people might start requesting specific operators. It's like developing a parasocial relationship, except the person is physically present in your home through a robot body. There's a real risk of emotional attachment to something that's part AI and part stranger, and as the AI becomes more autonomous, you might not even know when you're talking to the AI versus when you're talking to a human operator helping it out. The line blurs, and maybe that's fine for some people, but it's worth talking about what we lose when we replace human interaction with this hybrid human-AI robot entity. The wealth divide amplifier. Meal costs $20,000 upfront, or basically $6,000 a year if you pay the subscription. The CEO himself compared it to hiring a house cleaner and suggested that Meal is safer than letting a real person into your home. Let's sit with that for a moment. What's he really saying is that Meal is a replacement for human domestic workers. Here's the ethical problem. Right now, Neo is operated by poorly paid teleoperators. We don't know exactly what they're making, but VR operation jobs typically don't pay well. So you have wealthy people paying a premium to have lower income workers control robots in their homes, all while removing the actual human-to-human interaction that comes with typical or traditional domestic work. The robot creates distance between the served and the servant. You never have to see the person doing the work. You never have to acknowledge them as a human being with their own life or struggles. And as Neo becomes more autonomous, he threatens to make the human domestic workers obsolete entirely. If the AI actually works as promised, why would anyone hire a human cleaner when they could just have a robot that works 24/7, never gets tired, never asks for a raise, never needs health insurance? The cost math eventually works out in a robot's favor. This isn't just one product. It's about a future where wealth inequality gets encoded into who has access to robot labor. The rich get robot servants that free up their time. The poor work service jobs that can be automated yet, or worse, they become the teleoperators, serving the wealthy through the robot bodies. It's the same class structure we've always had, just with extra steps and a technological veneer that makes it easier to ignore. They promised us Rosie the robot from the Jetsons. What they're delivering is something much stranger and much more complicated. Thus, the future of robotic maids depends on what we're willing to accept today.